Hey, what's up? How you doing today? Working on a Greenworks Pro 60 volt lithium max 2.0 hedge trimmer today. It's a good machine. I haven't used it a lot. It's my brother-in-law's, but he was using it and kind of bit off a little more than it could chew, so it pulled loose right here in this assembly. And I'll show you that, but these are real easy to work on. Simple. Don't be afraid to take it apart, put it back together. All you need is Phillips #2 Phillips screwdriver and a drill for driving some of these screws. 3 Torx bits. The T15 is not used. Is only, I think, 2 screws for that. But the T20 and the T25 are the main ones you'll use. Let's see. The T15 is only used, I think, on this one. These 2 screws right here on either side that hold this part on. Then the T20 is the main one that holds the case together that splits like a clamshell. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these screws on the side you got to take loose. They're coarse like wood screws, go into the plastic in this side. But here's what I had to modify this screwdriver, this T20. That's 20. Okay, see how these screwdrivers are made? They're almost identical in length. This is the one I had to modify. This is a T20. It's about 3 inches, but I had to cut on it right here. That's all I had to cut on. Focus. And so it's about 3 inches, and that gave me like another 1/4 inch. So I can get down in just these 2 deep screw holes right here. That's all you need that for. Then there's 7 T25 screws that run down through here. You have to take that out. There's a little spacer for each one. Don't lose those. And see here, I marked this with a Sharpie. That's the bottom side. There's 2 screws that go here with a small nut on the other side that hold the plastic. They're in the plastic. Take these out. Those have got spacers as well. So that's what, 9 spacers you got to keep up with. Take this slick little part out. And this is where it came loose. He was trimming right along and it got into a thick one, and this round part pulled loose and it's just kind of riveted in there. So I took it apart. It was kind of damaged a little bit. I had to hit it with a belt sander to get it back together, and I think they just riveted the thing on there and then sanded it smooth or ground it smooth. So I went ahead and spot welded that a little bit. I know that's my butt ugly farm welds, but I was telling my buddy about it and he said, yeah, they don't have to be pretty, they just have to work. And I said, yeah, just like my face. So anyway, but I got it back together and tested it. Just took it back apart so I can show you how it works. And I'm going to grease it real good. And hopefully that'll quiet some of these parts down. This you have to take apart. This goes, let's see, on this side of the motor, there's a bearing that goes in this part. I'm going to grease that good with some red grease. A little bit high temperature, not the best, but this is a T20. The T20 screws bit fits those. What else? Having a brain fart here. Oh, these little spacers. Let me show you what these things look like. See those boogers? I'd be about tempted. You can use a center punch like this to kind of line that up when you're assembling it, but if you have to take it apart more than once, I'd be tempted to take some scrap rubber and make some little rubber washers that'll hold these spacers onto the screws. And if it winds up getting damaged and ruined, who cares? It's just scrap rubber. Some of the most useful trash you can keep laying around is scrap blown bicycle tire inner tube, any kind of inner tube. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna grease that good. And of course I always use a toothbrush. I'm going to use some of this plain Jane cheap grease down on here, and then once I get done greasing this real good, I'll just brush my teeth with that. And then see if any good looking chicks want to make out, which I doubt it. Hurting in that area, but yeah. So yeah, get some of these bits like this and drive these with your drill, cordless drill. They put a lot of thread locker on these screws. Don't put don't worry about that crap, putting any more of that crap back on there. I'm just going to do the opposite. I'm going to put grease back on there. Just get them good and tight. And of course, as always, these battery connections, those blades where it plugs in, I use some of this stuff, man. If you don't have any of this, get you some ASAP. Use it on every battery connection you can think of. The only time I wouldn't use this would be in real high temperature situations, because this stuff is very flammable. But it's conductive, it's got grease in it, it's perfect for battery connections. For high temperature applications, use this clear stuff. That's real dielectric grease. Very high temperature, it will not light with a flame, a candle flame anyway. But of course, I always use toothbrushes to put that stuff on too. This time, I had already been using this stuff. I didn't even, it was saturated so much, I just threw it on there. But that's about it, I think. I'm going to throw this thing back together and see if the grease kind of quiets some of the mechanical parts a little bit. But let's see what's on my jukebox today. Oh my Lanta. Have a good one.